small little tweaks that we can make in our lives that as we add them up, they compound, they snowball, and they make a big impact in our lives.
Awareness is half the battle. You'll spot the mistakes, you'll notice the overspending, and you'll feel more in control. Because we know in the age of debit card spending, it's easy to swipe and swipe and swipe away and not realize when things are starting to go off the rails.
From a money standpoint here, picture where you want to be. It could be 5, 10, even 20 years out, because connecting to your future self can help these small money habits that we're talking about. Hello, hello, welcome back.
Hello, good to see you, partner.
Great to see you too, partner. We both have our pattern, very different patterns today, but pattern nonetheless. Welcome back, everybody, to Living Richly with Curo. This is episode 70. We are so happy to either have you back or have you here for the first time. My name is Ann McCabe. I am the CEO and a partner here at Curo Private Wealth. And I'm joined, as always, every week by my amazing, lovely, wonderful, smart, beautiful partner, Atricia.
Lay it on.
I was going to keep going, but our viewers and listeners are probably like, oh, there they go again.
That's enough. Hi, I'm Atricia Roberts, COO and partner here at Curo with the lovely, intelligent, smart, vivacious Ann McCabe.
Love that word. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you so much, partner. All right. Well, as always, if you are an OG listener, you know this. And if you are new to our podcast, we will let you know that we are here to educate, inform, empower, inspire you on your financial journeys. And today, in the spirit of Kaizen, which we've been talking about a lot inside of Curo, inside of our practice, but also we did talk about this a little bit a few episodes ago on the podcast. Kaizen, if you're not familiar with the concept, is a Japanese principle about continuous incremental improvement. So the idea is not the massive, I'm going to run a marathon in a month sort of goal, but the small little tweaks that we can make in our lives that as we add them up, they compound, they snowball, and they make a big impact in our lives. So today we are going to share 12 simple, key is simple, like easily implementable ideas and habits that you all can take and implement in your lives. Just one. We're going to ask you to pick one. And these will likely improve your financial position. So that is what we have to share today.
I'm excited.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's great.
I
can't wait.
Actual tips, like try this.
Exactly. Yeah. Just not talking about theory, but actually some practical things y'all can do to really move the needle. So, Atricia, why don't you kick us off with number one?
Yeah. Now, this does not apply to any current client of Curo Private Wealth.
And it's not your investment accounts, by the way. It's like your bank and your credit cards. Just side note.
I'm teasing. But number one is to check your bank accounts daily. You want to take 5 minutes first thing in the morning, log in, check the balances, check the spending you've done over the last few days. Awareness is half the battle. You'll spot the mistakes, you'll notice the overspending, and you'll feel more in control. Because we know in the age of debit card spending, it's easy to swipe and swipe and swipe away and not realize when things are starting to go off the rails. So check your accounts daily. Just take 5 minutes first thing every morning.
Yeah. And the more frequently you do it, the less of a project it is, right?
Yeah.
Like people who wait until I think even the end of the month or the quarter, it's like at that point, it's so many transactions that it feels way more overwhelming than if you just do it on a daily basis. Grab your coffee, 5 minutes and done.
Yeah. Now, I don't do this, but I've noticed that when I don't or I go too long, and even more than the overspending, you miss the mistakes.
Yes.
Right. I had a debit card get hacked and I didn't realize it until they had already spent $2,500 of my money. When the bank finally alerted me that all of these charges were happening. And I'm like, oh, had I just logged in and checked, I would have seen those and hopefully been able to stop it. So that's also a big part of checking it frequently, too.
For sure. And then also, like I've noticed mistakes of either double charging, like
Mm-hmm.
stores that will accidentally double charge, or restaurants. If you're
Mm-hmm.
like, I know I did not give a $50 tip on that bill. Those sorts of things. So, yes. All right, number two, automate your savings. This is such an easy and powerful habit, money habit. Even if it's just $25 a paycheck, set up automatic savings so that it's out of sight, out of mind. Those of you who have 401ks already know how powerful
Mm-hmm.
this is. You don't really miss it, I promise. It just goes out of your paycheck or out of your checking account into your savings account. Do this either into savings if you need to build up your cash reserves or into your investment accounts. And we know that this amount sounds very small, but especially if you are earlier in your career, you're younger
Mm-hmm.
and you're doing this early, it can really add up over time.
Yeah, for sure. It's a great tip. And when we talk about creating spending plans, which we talk about a lot on this podcast, you want to include that as a line item, right? Your savings should also be a part of your spending line item, and making it automated is just a no-brainer, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. Pay yourself first. If you've
Yeah.
heard that saying, that's exactly what that means.
Yep. Love that. Okay, so our third tip, this is one I also use a lot, spend with the 24-hour rule. So before buying non-essential items, and I would say especially if they're big ticket items, wait 24 hours. So the pause will help you get a check on your impulse spending, but will also help you get a gauge for whether or not you even really want the thing, right? Sometimes you just get caught up into the experience of shopping, especially if you're walking around with friends and you guys are having a good time. But if there's something that you really don't need and you just want to buy, sleep on it. Give it a night. If you wake up the next day and you still really want it, then you can go back and make the purchase. But I found that lots of times I get up the next day and I'm like, why did I even want to buy that? I didn't even really need that, or really want that. I was just going to buy it just because.
Yeah. That's happened to me a lot with like Instagram ads, right? Like you're whatever on Instagram at night and you're like, ooh, I really need that fill in the blank for something that I
Right.
definitely don't need. And it's so easy, like with two clicks of the button to buy whatever the thing is that Instagram has very properly
Oh,
targeted you for. But then you wake up the next morning to your point and you're like, no, I don't
yeah. I
need that.
didn't really need infrared lighting glasses. Like it's
Yeah, for example. All right, number four, review your subscriptions every single month, once a month. Look at your credit card statement, look at your Apple ID subscriptions. You know how when they bundle all of them together and you're like, what's in that $37 Apple ID charge, right? Like it's probably multiple subscriptions.
right.
Every single month, take a look. Do you need the subscriptions? Are you still using the
Hmm.
7 streaming services that you've been paying for? And if not, take this opportunity to cancel. I would even further challenge you every month, try to cancel one thing because
Yeah.
chances are you're not using all the subscriptions that you're paying for.
Yeah, of course not. And it's gotten to the point now where the streaming services have just become the new cable. We
It's the
started
new
streaming
cable.
to save money on
Totally.
cable, and now we're just spending the same amount of
We're
money on
right
streaming.
back to where we were. Exactly. Yeah. And oftentimes you'll sign up for a streaming service because you want to watch a specific
Hmm.
show. So just make sure if you do that, that when you're done with that show, you go back and cancel.
Yeah. Yeah, even set little calendar reminders. I'll do that when I want to watch
Yep.
something during a free trial. It's like, okay, well, we'll cancel this on day 6
Exactly.
before it bills you.
Yeah, because they rely on the fact that most people are not as
Yeah.
responsible as you are setting a calendar reminder and they're going to forget until they see the charge. And then, of course, they're going to bill you for the year, right? So
Of
it's like,
course.
oh,
Of course.
it's like
Oh, it's a racket.
14.99 a month, but we're going to bill you on an annual basis.
What a racket.
Jerks, you got me again.
Okay, so our fifth tip is to increase your retirement contribution by 1%. And again, when you make retirement plan contributions, typically it's some percentage of your pay. So by setting a feature where you can increase it by 1%, if you do it every year, you'll be surprised the amount of impact this will make on your retirement savings. And because it's 1%, you probably won't feel a huge difference in your net pay, but you'll see that difference accumulate over time. And many plan administrators allow you to set it as an automated feature where you can increase 1% automatically at the start of every plan year. So look into that option. It's a good way to really build retirement savings quicker as you're working, especially if you're younger. It can be really powerful.
All right, number 6, set a fun money budget. So this is important because we want everybody to have guilt-free spending
Mhm.
money, right? We are not here to tell you that you can't spend your money. Atrice and I live great lifestyles and enjoy spending our money on things that bring us joy and that are in line with our values. So if you plan ahead and set up an amount of money that you know is your fun money and fill in the blank for what that is,
Mhm.
travel, eating out, shopping, whatever, then you are going to be able to spend that money guilt-free while still staying on track for your longer term financial goals. So this is all about having balance, which we are big believers in at Curo.
Yeah, we like it. We don't want people to sacrifice having fun in their lives. We just want you to do it financially responsibly.
Exactly. Yeah. Because we don't want you to be the people that come into our office when you're 65 and you want to retire yesterday and there's, not a lot saved.
Yeah.
We're not Harry Potter here. We can't really do a lot about that. So we want you to think about the future now.
Yes. Okay, so our seventh tip is to create a money date. And this is where once a month you sit down either with yourself and a nice beverage that makes you feel very relaxed or with your partner, and you share finances for a 30-minute money date. So you want to review your progress, you want to celebrate your wins, you want to identify areas of improvement, and you can tweak them as need be. And you can even get as serious as setting a calendar date. So it's something you do very consistently so that you're always checking in. And again, I think the celebrating the wins are big too, right? Where you can really go and pat yourself on the back when you've hit that savings goal or when you cancel that subscription for the month. So money dates can be really important, especially in partnerships, but even for solo flyers, you always want to sit down and take some time to really review what's going on.
Yeah. All right. Number 8. I love this one because it's all about abundance mindset, I would
Yeah.
say. So, number 1 is practice gratitude before you're spending. So, before you're about to make a purchase, just pause for one moment and acknowledge how blessed you already are and acknowledge what you already have. This not only builds mindfulness to help you connect with, do I really need, or is this
Mm,
really a purchase in line with my goals and values? So it does reduce unnecessary spending, but I also believe that this helps with an abundance mindset.
yeah.
So we are all about goals and, hustling to grow and to get better, but we also want to make sure that we're pausing to reflect on what we have already accomplished and what we have already built. So it's this key balance between wanting to continue to grow and go after our goals and also being super grateful and aware of how far we've come.
I think that is such a beautiful thought. And I think that abundance mindset can be so life-changing to really reflect
Yes.
on the times maybe when you couldn't have afford to buy the thing that you're now purchasing or when you thought it could never happen and to really practice that gratitude and appreciating where you are now. It's so powerful.
So powerful. Yeah.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, to the negative powerful, a scarcity
Hmm.
mindset can
Right.
be extremely damaging, right? Like
Yes.
that's the kind of mindset that you can be subconsciously just sabotaging your financial goals and not even, again, not even be aware of it because it's the scarcity mindset in kind of the back of your subconscious mind working very hard.
Yeah, I have to share this. My sister has this thing where I think I've shared this with you before offline, where you have to let money flow. She's
Yes.
always like, if you hold on too tightly, you can't make room for more to come in. So you just gotta let it flow.
Yeah. Yeah. I
That's
think
usually what
that,
she says before she's about to spend on something ridiculous, though. But
yeah, she was probably saying that to you when you were trying to pick your bed out,
right, exactly. She
when you were
absolutely said it though.
agonizing about that bed purchase.
She absolutely said it. Okay, so this is our ninth tip that we've shared, I think, before here on the Living Richly podcast. But open a separate savings account and give it a name. So it could be vacation fund, or it could even be more specific, like my Paris trip fund or my beach house fund. And naming it gives it purpose and it keeps you motivated to reach those goals while also saving money toward those fun big ticket things, right? The things that seem like long away goals, is you're saving consistently toward them. Then once you get there, the money's already available. I think we talked about it when we were talking about home purchases, right? Where you can
Yes.
create a fund to start saving toward down payments, but you could do it for anything, trips, big ticket items. You need a new stove, right? Start a GE stove fund.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Or even just like a house maintenance fund, right? Like
Yeah,
there's homes have maintenance costs every single year. So even having a separate fund for something like that, I know it's not as fun as the vacation
yeah,
fund, but it's important.
yeah. Or like the Formula One race fund.
There you go. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, tip number 10, review your credit report every single year. So, this is another thing that you can put on your calendar as a reminder. And once per year, everybody has access to a free credit report. The website is annualcreditreport.com, not complicated. So, go there and look at your credit report if you have not done so in the last year. Because if you catch errors early, this
Mm.
can often protect your score really from dropping. And it can also save you a ton of money in interest if we're talking about something like a mortgage or a car loan, and also on insurance costs, because
Hmm.
oftentimes insurance costs are tied to your credit score and your credit worthiness. So being aware if there are any mistakes and catching those before you're about to buy a home or a car can be really powerful.
Yeah, super helpful and take advantage of it. It's free.
Yes.
Okay, our next tip, unsubscribe from marketing emails. This can save you the endless temptation of being flooded with discount codes and shop now, this is on sale, because of course, out of sight, out of mind. And if you're anything like me, your inbox is flooded with all kinds of, for anyone you may have ever purchased something from in the last 5 years is probably still sending you an email. So choose to unsubscribe, free yourself.
Yeah. Pick like five a day or something, because it can also be kind of daunting to go
Yeah.
through 50 different, but yeah, like pick five companies a day
Yeah, I also
and
saw a
unsubscribe.
tip online where a woman said that she created a separate email address for like marketing or when she's shopping online. So that's the email address she uses so that if they do send marketing stuff, it's not into a box that she's checking regularly, like
I
her,
love that.
standard email.
Yeah, I love that. If you need to like check on a
Right.
tracking or order or whatever, you can go in there. I love that. I think that's a great idea. Okay, I also love number 12 because
Mhm.
again, this goes back to kind of mindset. So our last and final simple money habit that we wanted to share is visualize your future self. And I cannot speak highly enough about the power of visualization. I actually learned visualization, believe it or not. My high school softball coach was big into visualization, and she used to make us, before we went into the batting cage, like close our eyes and visualize making contact with the ball, visualize, the
Mhm.
plays that we wanted to make. And at the time, I have to admit, I was like, this is, kind of wonky and cuckoo, but I do think it made a difference. And I remember the times that I would like take the exercise seriously and actually visualize. I do feel like I made more contact with the ball and I, did the plays that I had visualized. So from a money standpoint here, picture where you want to be. It could be 5, 10, even 20 years out, because connecting to your future self can help these small money habits that we're talking about, like not making that impulse purchase late at night on
Hmm.
Instagram, for example. It can make that vision easier for you to connect to, for you to stay motivated, for you to stay committed to. So this is also extremely powerful. And I do think it's important for you to like actually sit down and close your eyes, right? Don't just like, oh yeah, I'm visualizing my future self.
Yeah,
Like take a moment. It doesn't have to be a long time, but like take a moment, close your eyes and actually visualize who you want to be in the future and connect back to that person today to help you stay on track.
yeah. And of course, I've talked about my vision boarding in the past, which has kind of gone more digital
Yeah.
than an actual board. But it's helpful to be able to see the things you want, who you want to be, to really have that in front of you as you make choices every day. I find it very helpful.
Yeah.
And
And then
we
you
love a
can,
good woo-woo moment at Curo.
for sure, Atrice and I are here for the woo woo. Okay. Note. Um, yeah, I think it's also, I think if you can connect back to the person you want to be and even ask yourself like is that person how would that person act in this moment, right? Like
Right.
would that person make the impulse purchase or would that person set money aside and invest it, right? Like really
Yeah.
connecting with who you want to be and just pretending like you're already that person can be really powerful.
Love it.
All right. So here's our call to action, y'all, because we've shared a lot of simple money tips, but we want you to take action. As Teresa mentioned at the beginning of this episode, we love when we can give you tactical things that you can take back and implement in your lives to move the needle. So our ask today is pick one of the 12 tips that we went over and just start today. Like you got to start today. You have to take action while it's fresh in your mind.
Mhm.
And then if you're up for it and open to it, we would love to hear from you on Instagram. Which of the 12 tips are you going to commit to implementing in your life? You can tag us at Curo Private Wealth, and we love, love, love to hear from you. So you don't have to share. It can be private between you and you. But if you are open to it, we would love to hear which of these you're going to pick and just pick the easiest one, the low-hanging fruit that
Right.
seems extremely accessible and implementable.
Yeah. I love the action items. This episode, I think many of them are very easy first steps to take on your path to financial freedom.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you are like us, where we are overachievers and we tend to put too much on our list, do not put more than one on your list now. Do one, do that for say 30 days, and
Hmm.
then you are allowed to go to number two. Because what's going to happen if you put too much on your list is it's going to be overwhelming, which is completely the opposite of the purpose of this episode. Is not supposed to be overwhelming. It's not supposed to be a big
Right.
ask. So just, I caution you if you are like me and Atricia, where we end up putting too much on our list, don't do that. Don't do that this time. Just
Yeah.
one. And then you're allowed to add more as you go. But I would say like 30 days because that typically is a good amount of time to build a new
Yeah.
habit.
To build a good healthy habit. Yeah. I won't add on all 12.
Yes, exactly. As much as that may sound like a good idea, it's not. Trust us. Just pick one. All right. Well, I don't know about you, but I feel like this whole episode is one big closing thought.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
my closing thought is just what I said, our call to action, which is pick one of these things. And then if you're open to it, let us know.
Yeah, I have just one quick one, but it's right in line with what we're talking
Yeah.
about today. And I'm going to loosely quote Dr. Martin Luther King because I don't remember the exact wording of it, but it basically says that if you can't do great things, or you may not always be able to do great things, you can do small things in a great way. So just something to remember. The small things also move the needle.
They matter.
Yeah.
They really do. All right, y'all. Well, that is a wrap for another episode, another week of Living Richly with Curo. Thank you so much for investing your precious time with us. We don't take it lightly. We appreciate you. We want to hear from you. And until next week.
Live richly.
Thanks again for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to subscribe and share it with someone who might benefit from it. Friendly reminder that this is for informational purposes only. For additional information, please visit us at www.curoprivatewealth.com. Until next time, live richly.